Howdy, howdy. My name is Bradley J, and today we're going to be covering my quite complicated but surprisingly easy to understand organization system. I've built every single Notion template pretty much the same, but with their own little flair, and it's because I'm able to use a highly reliable, specific set of rules to organize my entire system. So just going through it, as a little backstory, when I started Notion, I got really lost, and I don't know if you can get that feel, but Notion is an immense sea of opportunities. You can create whatever you want, whenever you want, and that can kind of be to your detriment, where you're creating too much and you're trying to expand and design and you're not actually being productive. So what I did is I wanted to stick to a specific set of rules similar to a website so that I don't get lost. Anytime I'm in a specific place, I know exactly where I am based on these set of rules. So if you haven't learned about the Core 4 organization concept, it is a basic concept that applies to literally everything, both physical and digital. And as a brief overview of what the Core 4 is every single thing can be classified as 4 categories. You either have a hub, which is where items are stored, or you have a display which shows those items, and a tracker that organizes those in a certain way. If we're looking at this bookshelf behind me, the way that would work out is a book is an item, of course. Within the book shelf, which is the hub of books, so you have the hubs, items, and then the bookshelf itself is the display, the way that those books are shown. And whether you decide to track it by height, genre, or however you decide to track it, even by color, that is your tracker. And you can build literally anything out that way. The kitchen is made of many hubs. You have your hubs of silverware, you have your hubs of cups, or whatever you want to get to. But realistically, it applies to everything, and I've used that same concept within my digital Notion environment. Carrying that on, though, as we see, I wanted to rely on a specific set of rules everywhere. I've tried to expand it to other areas, and it works pretty well. Anywhere you see yellow, you can rely on that to be a note or stored information. Just instantly know that, hey, it's a sticky note, you know? Like the old school sticky notes, just take one off, put it where it's going to be, and never use yellow for anything else. Keep it pretty simple. Next up is green, something actionable, a task or a to-do item. Red is a project or extended effort, something that you have to think about, like a video, kind of like YouTube is already thought of. Orange is goals or something forward-looking, something in the future. Brown is an organizer, kind of like a box. You see, that makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? Gray is something functional. As you look around, a lot of stuff functional is technically gray. Look at my dark background. And blue is just a broad general view. I'm working in purple as something else, but those are kind of hard to classify, and I figured why not have a little fun with it and use it for whatever you want. You want something pink, make it pink. Alright, carrying it on, outside of color, I've also decided on a specific set of icons. And this is really handy because as your system grows, you waste a lot of time trying to think of the best icon for the best page, and it just kind of doesn't accomplish anything. So you get lost, or you can stay into a logical system, and anywhere you see the navigation, well, it's on-page navigation. Anywhere you see that writing, it's going to be quick notes, database, favorites, priority, category. And you can work down there because they have a specific meaning, so that icon is only ever used once. You understand that the status tracker is going to show you a board that determines where that item is in the process. Same thing with processing. Most things have a way to get it into a different place or assign a date property to it. That's what the processing view is for. So anytime you see that shuffle, it's telling you to get it into wherever you want it to go. And just carrying on down, it makes a whole lot of sense using consistent icons. Hope that makes sense so far. We're going to get pretty deep pretty quick. So Moving it on, every single page within this my stuff has a last edited view. Again, I got lost a lot, so I figured in a database, the one consistent view would be the view of what I was just working on. I want to get back to it, don't I? Most likely, unless it's an archive, but it'd still be good to know and have a history of where I just was. So anywhere you are, any view is going to have the main hub's or the main database's last edited view, sorted from whatever it is on top to last. Whatever you just viewed on top down to what was viewed last on bottom, of course. Moving on forward, I have to show you this one because it is a little bit in depth. So additionally, each hub's subpage are grouped into the same 4 sections. The top is a priority, favorite, or important, meaning that if you have something specific, you want it on the top of your view. In tasks, that's tasks due today or tomorrow. It's going to show you tasks due today, of course, because we want to know what's on our plate for right now, so we can get to that. Next up is processing or status based. It's going to be grouped by those. Let me show you. Let's go to the Notes Hub. So you have the favorite on top, the only one main favorite for this hub. Down bottom you have processing and status, where you'll be able to see the board for the different categories. Next up, if you continue down, is time-based, such as whether you have properties. In this one, it's just recent because it's a note. You have recent web clips as well, but if we were to come over to the All Projects area, you would be able to see that there's more time-based pages in here. Projects by the month, by the quarter, by the year, so on. Next up is category-based, all activities grouped based on where you process them. So for example, whether it has tasks associated to it, it's going to be in progress or not. Whether it's in the status of doing, it goes to the in progress status. Moving on down, whatever area that project is associated with, if it's related to work, you're going to see it under the work area. As you see here, we have 2 starting areas. Life admin has the life quick tasks projects. Work admin or work area has the work quick tasks project. And just for the sake of things, why don't we move that to recurring? Because that's most likely going to never go away. Something to rely on as again. Moving on down, you see the goals and projects, and it carries on. These are the category that these pages are in. So, kind of makes sense. Keeping it moving. We are getting to the end of the rules, and you'll kind of see how it all comes together here soon. So, the last few consistencies that I have is if you are in a Notes hub, or if you are in a hub and there is a relation to another database, the icon used will be the icon of the other database. So, for example, if you're in the Notes hub and a page is related to the Projects hub, the icon will be a project icon. Let me open it up and show you. Oh no, here. Alright, so we are in the Notes hub, and the relation for the projects by notes, you'd be able to see it right here. It takes on the crane, which is of the project, of course. Down here, the project takes on the icon of the area. Very easy to rely on. Moving it on down, the database icon will always match their hub icon. This one is best to show you in the task database, or the tasks hub, because everything is a check. Kind of makes the most sense. So if we add a new task, you will see it pop up as a check, because that's the database that it's part of. And all subpages will carry the color from the hub and use the main hub icon as a header. If we come down here, you will see that the notes processing, it carries on the icon that I showed you guys earlier, but it also shows the main hub's icon, which is the note, and it also shows the color to instantly show you that you're there. If we come over to the full processing and go to the projects processing, you'll see the exact same thing to be like, okay, I'm in the projects area. I know exactly what I need to do. Where do I want to be? And then you're able to go directly to it. It's very handy, And just to show you one more time, it does carry on over everywhere you go. So that is pretty much everything in my system. To show you it, everything is behind a toggle to take advantage of Notion's inherent lazy loading. It's not going to load everything we have here. It does look pretty massive, but realistically it doesn't load until you open it, as you saw there, and then it brings in all of the functionality. We're able to really stack on a whole lot of just power into this single page because of that feature, and I'm really impressed with how it's all coming together, and really it just makes a lot of sense. So this is my entire layout. If you haven't heard of the Core 4 organization concept, I encourage you to go look into that a little bit more. It does make sense, and it does apply to everything. If you have an item that doesn't belong in the hub, move it out of that hub and you can get organized. If you're still not as productive as you want, maybe you're not able to see it and you need to adjust the display. And say you're still not as productive as you want, well, it might be time to get a new tracker and organize it a little bit better. Get all those done and you're still not able to do it, well, we got different questions for you. So that's the hub track method. This is the entire Life Hub and essentially Notion template formula that I use to organize everything I have. Hope this makes sense. If you guys have any questions, feel free, please leave them. Talk to you guys soon. See you in the next video.